Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a Yoda statue. They released the Star Wars Classic Skin Pack the other day, and ever since they have, I've been having a great time with it. I like a lot of these skins. Very well designed, very unique as well. You might not want to be surprised if you see quite a few Star Wars statues popping up over the next few weeks. However, I had to make Yoda first. How could I not? After coming across his skin, how could I not want to make this guy first? I love this skin. If you want to make him as well, here's what you're going to need. You'll need some sandstone block, some spruce wood, grab yourself some brown wool, some dark green, some lime green wool, and finally some white wool. And once you have every single one of those colours right there, and once you've figured out where you want to make him, I'll be making him right here, you'll want to kick off your Yoda statue with a row of 8 sandstone in a row on the floor. That's 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And by the way, if you guys haven't noticed, here's a treat for you. In the upper left hand corner where you see Yoda, watch him as you place blocks as Yoda. It's so hilarious. He doesn't actually touch the blocks with his hands. He uses the force. It looks so funny as you're placing like a load of blocks at high speed. As a matter of fact, he's not even holding the block now. It's floating next to his head. I love this skin so much. I'm sorry for interrupting. I just love that. Once you have your row of 8 sandstone, this is what you want to do next. Stack 3 more rows of 8 sandstone directly on top of your original row. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 to give you in total 4 rows of sandstone. Once you have your 4 rows of sandstone, this is what you want to do next. For the next row, do 4 sandstone in the 4 center spots of your row, and then just fill the entire rest of your row in with brown wool. For the next row, do an entire row of spruce wood. For the next row, do 4 sandstone in the 4 center spots of your row, and then fill the rest of it in with brown wool. For the next row, place a single brown wool in the right center spot of your row, and then just fill everywhere else in with sandstone. For the next row, do 2 brown wool in the 2 center spots of the row, and then just fill everywhere else in with sandstone. For the next row, fill the 4 middle spots in with brown wool, and then fill the entire rest of the row in with sandstone. For the next row, do 2 lime green in the 2 center spots of the row, do a single brown wool either side of that lime green, and then just fill the entire rest of your row in with sandstone to give you something which should look a little bit like this. That is the entire front of your Yoda statue, half the size of a regular statue. Obviously, it's Yoda. He's tiny. I think he's like 3 foot tall, something like that. Once you've got the entire front of your Yoda statue fully complete, this is what you want to do next. Come all the way to the back of your Yoda statue. Come all the way down to the bottom, and you just want to start off by taking each end of the bottom row of your statue, this block, and extending it back towards where the back of the statue is going to be, so this way, each by 3. So like this, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, like that. So you just want to have 2 rows of 3 sandstone coming out of the back of each end of the bottom of your statue. You then want to connect each one of those third blocks together, back block to back block, like this. We're now just going to build up the entire back of our Yoda statue, very much how we've just built up the front, and then we'll build up the sides, do the arms, do the header, etc, etc. So what you want to do, first of all, for the back of your Yoda statue, building up on top of these 8 back blocks, is do 4 rows of sandstone on top of this back row. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. For the next row, you then want to do an entire row of spruce wood. You then, for the next 5 rows, want to do 5 solid rows of sandstone. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to give you the entire back of Yoda. The back of Yoda is very plain, it's just his robes, or as a matter of fact I'm not exactly sure what Jedi robes are called. I should probably know that, but he's wearing his robes. Once you've got the entire back of your statue sorted out, very simple, 5 rows of sandstone, 1 row of spruce, 5 rows of sandstone. This is what you want to do next for the sides of your statue. Both sides of your statue basically just want to be filled in entirely with sandstone. It's as simple as that. You don't even need to worry about having Yoda's belt follow around. That's what the sandstone is, you can see on the front and the back here. You don't even have to worry about following that around for the sides, as his arms will cover it. So for both sides of Yoda, once you've taken care of his back, just fill both sides in with sandstone block, like that. Very easy. And once you have filled both sides in, we can now take care of his arms. So come over to this side of Yoda. It's the left hand side of Yoda or the right hand side, it really does depend on perspective, but this side of Yoda. Starting from the top of Yoda, these 2 middle blocks that we have right here, you basically just want to do 2 rows of 4 sandstone coming down from both of these middle blocks like this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and directly next to it as well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this. So you just want to have those 2 rows at the side of Yoda. And then what you want to do, once you have those 2 rows of 4, just do 2 rows of 2 green coming down, lime green that is, 2 rows of 2 lime green coming down from each one of those rows of 2 sandstone. You then, once you have those 2 rows, want to just extend them out by 1 even further. So just have them, instead of coming out of the side by 1 row, have them come out of the side by 2 rows like this to give you Yoda's arm. Very simple indeed. Once you've got that taken care of on the one side of your statue, you now want to do the exact same thing on the opposite side of your statue. So coming over to the other side now, starting from these 2 top middle blocks, do 2 rows of 4 sandstone coming down, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 directly next to it. Then do your 2 rows of 2 lime green coming down from your sandstone, so that's 1, 2 and 1, 2, and then just do the exact same thing essentially directly next to or in front of the sandstone / lime green that you've just done, to give you in total something which should look, just to give you guys a front view, a little bit like this. That is what you want for Yoda's arms. Both of them are identical. He's not disfigured or anything, or at least not as I'm aware. It's not as if he got his hand chopped off by Count Dooku. So that is what you want to have for both of Yoda's arms. Once you have those taken care of, all we have to do now is Yoda's head. So come all the way up to the top front of your torso. Take out your lime green, and on top of the 6 middle blocks of the torso, stack a row of 6 lime green, like this. Once you have your row of 6 lime green, you now want to do 2 more rows directly in front of that row. So that's 1 and 2, like that. Now knock out the 2 middle blocks of that second row and replace them with dark green. That's Yoda's mouth. I figured it'd be easier to do it this way around rather than build the dark green into the row. And once you've done that, we can now build up Yoda's entire face, which we'll be building up on top of this second row right here. So on top of this second row, for the second row of Yoda's face, do an entire row of a lime green wool. For the next row, do 2 lime green in the 2 center spots of the row, a single brown either side of that lime green, and then a single white wool on the ends of the row. For the next row, do 2 lime wool in the 2 center spots of the row, and then dark green everywhere else. For the next row, and for the final row of Yoda's face as a matter of fact, do an entire row of lime green wool, which should give you something which should look in total a little bit like this. This is Yoda's entire face. Very simple indeed. Once you've got that taken care of, we can now make the entire rest of Yoda's head. So once you have done that, come round to the back of Yoda's head And starting from the original row of lime green that we started with, you want to take out your lime green wool and extend the original row backwards until it is in line with the back of the statue. So just to give you guys a side view, you want to do this to the original row of the lime green wool. Basically just add 3 more rows of lime green coming back from that row in line with the back of the statue with this sandstone right here. And once you've done that, all you have to do is take these 2 back corners of the head right here, raise them up and connect them to the front of the head like this. So just essentially turn the head into a giant, well, I suppose it's more of a rectangle than a cube, but a rectangular shape. And then all you have to do is just fill both sides and the back of the head in with lime green wool, which I'm doing right now. But you don't have to fill the top of the head in with lime green, and here's why. Once you've turned the head into a rectangle, and once you've filled in the left, right and back side of it in with lime green wool, for the top of the head, you want to do this. So you want to basically have the top of the head look a little bit like this. It's hard to explain, but really easy to see what you have to do. You basically just want to form like a square shape on top of the head that basically just fills in the top of the head, and it just wants to sit like 1 block higher than the actual head itself. As I said, it's kind of really hard to put into words, but it should be quite easy to see what I've actually done there. So that square that basically just fills the space for the top of the head just wants to sit 1 block higher instead of just like directly filling in the space at the top of the head. And just from the front, it wants to look a little bit like this. Once you have filled in the top of the head, all we have to do now is Yoda's ears. So come over to the left hand side of Yoda's head here. In line with the eyes in this position right here. Again, it's kind of hard to explain a lot of the positionings and how to make this stuff. It's a lot easier to see what you have to do once I've actually done it. You want to do this. As a matter of fact, I'll just do the ears, and then you guys can just see what you have to do. So this is what the left ear looks like, and I think that you guys can see what position you have to build that in. Very, very easy indeed. Very few blocks required whatsoever. What is that? 7? Very simple. That is what you want to have for Yoda's left ear. And once you've got that taken care of, I hope that's all the information that you guys need. Let me see if I can give you an ever so slightly better view. There you go. That's even easier to see what you have to do. Once you've got that left ear taken care of, you now just want to quickly knock out the right ear as well. So coming over to the right hand side of the statue, in the exact same spot as you just did on the left hand side of the head, you now just want to do Yoda's right ear, which looks exactly like this. Exactly the same as the opposite ear. Very simple indeed. And once you have both of those ears taken care of, obviously pause this here if you're still making the ear rhyming like crazy. Once you've got those ears taken care of, you have fully completed your Yoda statue. Let's take a bit of a look at this, shall we? Let's take a nice 360-degree look at Yoda before we finish things off. So once you've got the ears complete, this is hopefully what you'll be looking at. Look at this guy. Look at this. I love this statue so much I can't even tell you. I don't even know how to express it. It's such a simple statue. I can't believe that I haven't designed this before. It's so simple. There's really barely any detail in it, but I absolutely love it. I can't explain it. I don't know why it is. I really love this statue. It's really easy to make. It's really simple, but it's absolutely fantastic. It's a great statue. One of the favourites that I've ever made, I think. Obviously, I've not designed it. I wish I had, but this is a really cool statue. Hopefully, you guys have managed to make this. Thanks for watching, guys, and as I said at the beginning of this video, I'm probably going to be making quite a few more of these. I have a few more that I've made for my own personal worlds, but odds are I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a few of these. I probably like a Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, maybe Vader, maybe Ben Kenobi. There's a couple that I've done. So thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video. I hope you're happy as I am with your statue.